The time is here. Oh, 444. Grounding master energy on Earth. A challenge for sure. The title for today is Expanding the Box of Possibilities. All right, I had another flying dream. And this time I was showing others that they could fly too. I laid in bed for over an hour before getting up and going into the meditation room. As I shared in other videos, flying dreams have been occurring throughout my life. There I was, embodied, yet flying. I saw it again and again. Yet when I returned to this reality, I convinced myself that that was only a dream, and this is the box I live in now. One where I cannot fly. As I am challenged to reprogram the hologram that I talked about yesterday, I am feeling that the angelic or higher self part of me is trying to get me to at least get a bigger box of possibilities. Is this part of what Jesus promised when he said, "Greater things than these shall you do"? Oh my God. Thoughts have been all over the place this morning. And I chuckle at myself because there's a part of me that says, "Ron, you're insane." Because I've been programmed to think that, and so have you. All of our lives we've lived in a box. We've lived in this box of limitations. Over 100 years ago, Tesla gave us technology that would have given us free energy and would have brought us into the golden age a couple of generations ago at least. But no. There were powerful people, we thought there were powerful, J.P. Morgan and others, that wanted us to live in a box of oil. J.P. Morgan and, of course, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. And we know the names. They wanted us to live in a box limited by oil as the means of energy. Oil equals energy. No, it doesn't. It has, but the box is bigger if we can only see it. And in my dreams for years, since I was a kid, I've been having these flying dreams. And I always can see my body flying. I mean, this body, at whatever stage of development it's in, whatever age it appears to be, it can fly. And yet when I wake up, I can't fly. Now, is that a belief or a reality? It's certainly been a reality when I've believed it. Now, it's funny because in the dream, other people were saying, "But I can't fly." And I could take them by the hand and lift them up so that they'd be flying with me. And I'd say, "You can let go and you can fly too." Some let go and could fly. Some wouldn't let go. They didn't want me to let go of their hand, actually, because they still didn't believe that they could fly. How many things in our culture, in our world, are limitations that we accept because we've been taught that's the only choice we have? Many of us, myself included, have tried to change the system within the system. The OPPT did the same thing, imploded the system using the commercial code, the UCC. Okay? Here's the problem with all of these remedies. All of them. We take the remedy to the people that are stuck in the old paradigm, and we're saying we want you to see the new paradigm. And the keepers of the old paradigm, think Planet of the Apes, the keepers of the old paradigm, definitely don't want humans to think outside the box. Definitely don't want us to think outside the box. I mean, this is our box, for God's sake. And we're easily controlled in this box. But what if we could get a bigger box? What if the box of magic tricks that we've been given has some hidden compartments in it that will allow it to expand and still contain the old box, but yet with different rules in the bigger box? Tut's message for today is never create rules, Ron, not ever. Not for others, and especially not for yourself, unless, of course, this is your rule. Born free. The universe. What was the... Don't you love simple, Ron? What's the PS? I was challenged day before yesterday when I was thinking about what to do this coming Wednesday night that I have an open thing, to have a healing meeting, which I've never done. I've never conducted a healing meeting of any kind. I don't mind conducting discussions, but actual participatory things where we participate in healing, I've never conducted one of those, I don't believe, in my entire life. And yet here I am in the dream, I'm teaching other people how to fly, or you can say it another way, how to transcend limitations. I was asked yesterday why I try to force my beliefs on others. When I don't like others to tell me what to believe, why do I tell others what to believe? And of course, the conversation was regarding the fact that so many in my community have rejected me as a conspiracy theorist, or I'm too political, or I'm too this or too that. Ron, I was asked, why do you try to get others to believe what you believe? Well, I do that because I don't see myself as strong enough to escape the box alone. And yet I know, for example, the world that we live in is a financial fraud. Everything in the economic system is a fraud. And the justice system supports it. The political system supports it. All the business systems support it. Everything supports the fraud. Everything. Now, I know, and you have to admit that it would be very reasonable, that if all of the world could wake up together and say, this is a fraud, we're not going to play this game anymore, the game's over. Just like that. It doesn't matter what the courts do. It doesn't matter what the politicians do. It doesn't matter what the CEOs do. It doesn't matter what anybody does. If the people en masse just said, we're not going to play this. We're not going to play this anymore. We're not going to play it. What would happen? We know what would happen. The system changes in the snap of a finger, in the blink of an eye. The system is gone. The matrix has just disappeared because people refuse to play by the game. Now, I've tried to find legal remedy, and I have found legal remedy within the system. But the judges, the courts, the police, all of the structures support the old thing. They don't support even their own law, even the stuff that's in their own law. So people keep sending me new remedies. Yeah, Phil does, and others. Send me new remedies. Try this remedy, try this remedy, try this. I'm tired of trying remedies when they're ignored. Even the OPPT is ignored. We have to learn to get a bigger box. We have to learn to fly. We can do it. I've seen me doing it in dreams. Now you say, Ron, but they're just dreams. Well, isn't this reality also a dream? Or more precisely, isn't it a nightmare? A nightmare when free will is supposed to be the law of the universe, the law of the cosmos, and yet in this dream, in this nightmare, free will is not honored at all. People lose their homes, people lose their freedom, people even lose their lives against their will. Free will is not honored. That's a natural law, that my freedom ends where yours begins. But your freedom ends where mine begins, so that neither of us are supposed to be able to infringe upon another. And yet we live in a world where infringement occurs all the time. All the time. And it's a box that has been made smaller and smaller and smaller so that it could be more easily controlled. And the ones living in the box would stay in their cubicle and do what they're supposed to do their job, earn their money, pay their debts, shop, buy, things that they don't even need. How many things have I bought that I don't need just because I thought, well, I might need it sometime? We all do that, don't we? Or at least in the Western culture we do. Maybe not in indigenous cultures, but certainly in our modern Western culture that has actually taken over the East as well as the West. It's spread all over the world. It's in just as much in China and Japan and the Orient as it is in the Occident. Same thing. Same game. We've bought into this financial system box that enslaves us. And there's something in me and there's something in you that knows we can fly, but we convince ourselves that we can't. We are mass hypnotized. We watch the TV, we listen to the media. The media tells us what to think, what we want, how to live, and we buy into it again and again and again, every day. And we complain and bitch and moan because things don't get better, because we've convinced ourselves that we can't fly. And yet, how many of us have flying dreams like me? When you know you can fly, you've seen yourself doing it. Somebody said recently that the cosmos is going to be less and less helping us. Well, or at least that's the way I took the email. To me, no, the cosmos will be helping us more and more. I'm asking my higher self to merge with me, the man, the human being, and teach me how to make the box bigger. Build my faith, build my confidence, so that it's no longer just a belief, a hope, a dream, a wish, but it's something that I know as reality. Something that I know that, just as those, what were they called, the Jansenists or whatever in France a few centuries ago, they believed that they couldn't be hurt and people would come at them with weapons of the day, and the weapons were not of any value. They couldn't be harmed, and thousands of people witnessed that at the time. Of course, it's been buried. It's not something that's talked about a lot, but it exists in our history. And others have been able to do miracles. When I read the Life and Times, the Masters of the Far East, or whatever it is, they did miracles. But we don't believe in miracles because we've been conditioned to live contentedly or discontentedly in our boxes. It's time to expand the box of possibilities. We've been given cures for diseases, and yet the box doesn't allow those cures. We need a bigger box that does allow them. I don't know how the steps are going to be taken for me to teach others how to fly. I don't know what the process is, but I know I have to remind myself that even here in this world, I can fly. And I need to have a bigger box for living in this world where flying is permitted, where possibilities become realities, where beliefs become knowing. We all have to move here. And the faster we can get more people to move, the faster we'll change the world. And if we can get enough people to do it quickly, there doesn't have to be a lot of turmoil, a lot of cataclysm. It can be a gentle transition, relatively speaking, from the old to the new. All we need to do is learn how, remember how, to expand our box of possibilities. Thank you for listening. Namaste.